Hello neighbor, this is Curt with the etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail bike rack, and we're going to see how it works with our 2024 Hyundai Santa Cruz. Now the MonoRail is a nice 2-bike rack. It's a platform rack that's going to go into your 2x2-inch hitch on your Santa Cruz. It's going to offer a weight capacity of 60 pounds per bike, which means it is going to accommodate a lot of your e-bikes that are out there. It is a wheel-mounted bike rack. It's going to attach by an arm and a hook to your front wheel here. And that is going to be able to be released through this trigger right here and ratcheted down to hold it in place. The other contact point is going to be a wheel strap back here on your rear wheel. Now, as far as how it fits our Santa Cruz, this does keep it a little bit close to the back of the vehicle. However, between our pedals and our handlebars being up high like that, we're really not in any danger of it hitting against it, even if we're on kind of a rougher road. But like with any platform bike rack, there is going to be some visual obstruction coming out of the back. We're going to have a pretty good view of the license plate for other drivers out there. However, our taillights are going to be partially covered, and we're going to have some interference with our rear view camera. So it's a really good idea to know just what kind of footprint this is leaving behind the bumper. And in the case of the monorail, if we're measuring out to this point right here, we're right at 32.5 inches. So just bear in mind, you've got all that back here behind your bumper that you're going to have to account for whenever you're backing into a tighter space or trying to parallel park. The other thing we're going to take a look at is ground clearance. So if I'm measuring from the furthest point here, we've got 21 inches of ground clearance. We do have a really nice rise on the bike rack coming out of the shank to help us out with that. But that's more than enough in my mind, especially considering how close it is to the bumper, that I'm not as worried about bottoming out with this if I come across a steep driveway or incline. It is, however, something that you always want to keep in mind. Now, I had mentioned before that you could carry bikes up to 60 pounds apiece on this rack. However, there is no ramp available to assist you with those heavier bikes. So however much your bike weighs, just make sure you're comfortable lifting it up to a height of about 23 inches in order to get your bike loaded and unloaded. Now, one of the most common questions that we get when it comes to hitch bike racks is, will you have access to your cargo area? In this case, to the tailgate. And it does have a tilt-away feature. There's going to be this blue handle here at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and pull against that, slowly lower it away from the back of the vehicle. Make sure you don't hit your head on those handlebars. And what I found that as long as this back pedal is in the uppermost position, the monorail will clear your tailgate. It gets very close right here, but we've got plenty of room. Now we can get in and out of the back of our Santa Cruz without having to remove the bike from the bike rack. And in order to get it back up into its driving position, all we really need to do is lift up against it until we hear that click. And now we're ready to get back on the road. So loading and unloading your bike on the monorail is a really, really easy process. And you may have noticed as we've been going through the video that a lot of the areas that, that are important for you to operate are in this kind of bright blue color, which is going to make this really easy in low light conditions. So back here, we've got the tab for our rear wheel strap. We're going to go ahead and depress that. We're going to remove the strap, feed it through our spokes, and clear it out the other side. Next, we're going to brace our bike, keep it in an upright position. We're going to go ahead and depress this button, lift up our hook, and clear the wheel across the front. Now I'm able to remove the bike from the rack, just like so, and I'm ready to hit the trail. So if you recall, we've got all this extra footprint back here behind our bumper. Luckily, we do have a stowaway position on the monorail, so when we're traveling without a bike but don't want to remove the bike rack, we can leave it in, just like this. Just instead of lowering it away like we did with the tilt-away, we're going to lift up and against the back of the vehicle. And now we've significantly reduced that footprint. In fact, we've knocked it down to just under 13 inches. So only just a little over a foot back here that you're going to have to account for. Now, while in this position, we did end up blocking our license plate. However, we have full clarity of our taillights and very minimal obstruction coming out of our rear view camera. So that's a look at our RockyMounts MonoRail bike rack on our 2024 Hyundai Santa Cruz. And if after watching this video you decide that the monorail is the bike rack for you and you get it and you have the opportunity to use it a few times, Please share with us what you think about it in the comments below. We'd love to share your experience with other neighbors so they can make the best decision for themselves. Once again, this is Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.